Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at Utrailer, and today we are looking at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike rack here on our 2021 GMC Canyon Denali. Now the Kuat NV is the nicest bike rack you could probably get in the premium area of bike racks. It has a really good design. Kuat always does a really good job with making it look good but also work well. So this has the premium features you would want, need, and expect in a Kuat bike rack. One of those features is that this can tilt away. To do so, you pull on this lever and it tilts down. And you'll want to tilt it down if you want to, say, access your hatch, or in the case of our truck here, open your tailgate. So as you can see, we can open the tailgate almost all the way, but not completely. But this still gives us enough room to get into our truck bed, grab whatever we need, and then close the tailgate right afterwards. So it's kind of a bummer you can't lower it all the way down, but on the upside, it's not that bad because with this bike rack, it's actually pretty easy to mount and dismount your bike. Let's take a look at that process. So first, let's go back here to the rear wheel strap. So this strap goes around your bike and secures it. To release it, you press that button and you lift up on the strap and then leave it to the side so it doesn't get tangled up in your spokes. After that, you go over to the front and then hold on to your bike as you do so it doesn't tilt backwards. Then you release this front wheel mount by pressing that button, lifting up, and then pushing out, and that's it. From there, you can then lift your bike and you're ready to go on a bike ride. Another thing that you can add to the system is the Kuat NV access ramp. If you have extra heavy bikes, since this has a weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, you can actually use that ramp to ramp up your bikes onto the bike rack and ramp it down if you don't want to be lifting it. Let's look here at the back of the tray. So at the very back, we have an included cable lock for each tray that goes around your bike and secures it. Then you also have this rear wheel strap. This comes down and it ratchets down to secure that rear wheel. This can accommodate tires of up to 5 inches. If you have 2 fat tire bikes, you're gonna have to pick up an extra adapter though. Here at the front, we have this front wheel cradle as well as this front wheel mount. I really like this design because I had a carbon fiber bike just now, and with this design, I don't have to worry about accidentally warping the frame. Also, if you have alternate frame bikes like your women's bikes, your children's bikes, your step-through bikes, with this kind of a clamp, you don't have to get a frame adapter bar because this comes down and secures it by the front wheel. All right, now when you do have a bike rack behind your truck, there is some length added to the back of it. Let's take some measurements to see exactly how much. Measuring from our rear bumper to the end of the bike rack where that bike repair stand is, it sits at 32.5 inches. That's pretty normal for a 2-bike bike rack. If you need a little less space, you can get the base version that does not come with a bike repair stand. Let's also talk about ground clearance. So measuring from underneath the tray to the ground, it's 26.5 inches. Measuring from the shank to the ground, it is 16.5 inches. So that's actually a lot of ground clearance. When you are driving a truck, you don't have to worry about that as much, but if you put this bike rack on a shorter or lower vehicle, you might have to worry about hitting the ground when you go up a steep incline like a driveway or a hill. Another of its features is that you can fold up the bike rack when you're going to go around town in its portable position. To do so, you pull that lever and then you fold up the bike rack just like that. Let's take some measurements again. Measuring from our rear bumper right over there to the end of the trays, it sits at 8.5 inches, but this anti-rattle knob sticks out a little bit further, so that's going to sit at 15.25 inches. Big difference compared to when it was folded down. You definitely want it in this position when you're driving around town. Let's also take a look at the closest point. So from our bumper to our front wheel clamp, we have a clearance of 3.75 inches. That way you don't have to worry about any contact between the bike rack and your vehicle. With it folded up like this, let's also take a look at how it fits. So obviously our lights are completely clear. Our backup camera sits above the bike rack, so your view's not going to be obstructed. Now this does cover your license plate though, so just keep that in mind, especially concerning like local laws and regulations. Let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So this has a 2-inch solid shank, and it comes with an anti-rattle pin and a lock. That lock is key to the lock on your arms for the bikes. That way your bikes are secured as well as your bike rack. It's a tool-free install, so all you need to do is pop it into your hitch and tighten it down with this anti-rattle knob. Turning that knob extends the ball cam and creates an anti-rattle effect on your hitch. So as I shake the bike rack, I'm mainly shaking the vehicle now, and that means that there is no sway or rattle between those two connections, making for a smoother ride for your bike. Alright, so my final thoughts about this bike rack is I'm a huge fan of the Kuat bike racks. The Kuat NV looks really good here on the truck. It works well. Your backup camera is free. With it folded up like this, you have access to a bike repair stand if you need to make repairs on the road. You have a really good weight capacity, and this one is compatible with an access ramp. So if you do have heavy electric bikes and you need to carry around on your truck, this might be a good option because of that ramp and weight capacity. So that was a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2 bike rack here on our 2021 GMC Denali.